Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the epic world of Creatures of Sonaria, one of the most magical and chaotic places on Roblox. If you're a fan of exploring vast fantasy landscapes filled with unique mythical creatures, then you're in for a treat. But listen, it's not all sunshine and rainbows out there. Some of these creatures are out for blood, and if you're not prepared, well, let's just say it won't end well. So, to help you survive and thrive, we're breaking down which creatures are actually worth leveling up as your guardians. Whether you're looking for an unstoppable beast to defend you or a loyal companion to adventure with, we've got you covered. Stick around for our Creatures of Sonaria tier list, where we'll reveal the top picks you need to keep your eye on. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking creatures in Creatures of Sonaria. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. The creatures in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Alkaksu, Ani, Astrothi, Bizu, Beluvaraptor, Valkyrie, Eulope, Saikari, Viridex, Munel, Levene, Rorolo, Ferniflee, Parahexilian, Shro, Philoof, Galgaea, Jeff, Irdegard, Kemeti, Grisalmog, Kiwin, Criffin, Galtakron, Mekmek, Meek, Minowi, Nimuna, Pero, Prabiki, Ralakai, Sokurin, Rukig, Shiaro, Yipir, and Auratum. Alright, let's dive into the C-tier creatures of Creatures of Sonaria. Now, C-tier is where things get a bit tricky. These creatures, they're not the worst, but to make them work in combat, you'll have to put in some extra effort and pay close attention. Think of them as those friends who need a little push to really shine. You could go for them, but maybe keep them as backup for when your A-tier or S-tier champs are cooling off. Let's talk about some standout personalities here, starting with Pero. This creature is like a feathered phantom. Pero's got this unique flying ability that's pretty amazing. It's an omnivore, so it's not too picky with food, and it even has a bird-like body with a face so tiny it doesn't have a beak. The best part? Pero has rows of glowing lights down its neck and tail. These lights aren't just for show, they can actually help Pero blend in with its surroundings by turning invisible. That's right, Pero goes full stealth mode to hide from predators, making it a great choice if you're trying to stay low-key in the sky. Another interesting one is Shro. I mean, you've got to love the names here. Shro's a bit of a mystery, but it brings some nice versatility if you're patient with it. Then we have Rukig and Saikari. Both are cool, though they can be a little stubborn on the battlefield. They need a bit more hand-holding than other tiers, but if you've got the patience, they can still pull their weight. And for anyone who loves a good glow-up, look out for Viridex and Munel. They bring a unique style to the battlefield, but remember, they're not the easiest to master. It's like trying to win a race in an old car. It'll get you there, but you'll need a lot of skill and a little luck. So, keep your A and B tiers ready to roll, but if you feel like a challenge, give these C tiers a spin. Just don't say I didn't warn you. The creatures in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Archmeta, Demetira, Aesmir, Arcanax, Galeostra, Konamushi, Arenoa, Yenyasha, Bengon, Cantapodi, Kotol, Diamargula, Diasura, Zenolith, Deocrine, Doragonix, Emphines, Denzi, Uvius, Farah, Flixlit, Etherelotus, Hemakai, Hushik, Icaron, Ibetchi, Kiku, Kiridian, Caldenteris, Kriprick, Kiki, Libonich, Lysicius, Momola, Nitoltalis, Pernerex, Fugu, Thorokis, Mordalium, Borenhir, Riox, Wistoria, Triborus, Veldis, Vinru, Maiweve, Molangai, Volnurve, Wistora, Bolatra, Baru, Noctaloon, Iriza, and Lotrimum. Alright, let's dive into the B-tier creatures of Creatures of Sonaria. These creatures may not be the top dogs, but trust me, they bring their own charm to the battlefield. Now, if you're up for putting in a little extra time and effort, these guys can come in handy. Just remember, B-tier creatures take a little more nurturing to bring out their true potential, but if you're a fan of the underdog, this might be your style. Now, let's talk about Deocrine. This guy is a prime example of B-tier potential. It's a terrestrial photocarnivore, meaning it's part plant, part predator. Imagine a green theropod with an edgy Dilophosaurus vibe. We're talking leafy ruffles, a head crest, and a brilliant blue underside that stands out like a neon sign. It's a beauty, right? But Deocrine is more than just looks. It's nimble, fast, and surprisingly intelligent. You might think it'd be fierce with all that going for it, but, well, it's not exactly the toughest thing out there. The Deocrine was actually a limited gacha pull, so if you've got it, count yourself lucky. But fair warning, it's retired from the gacha pool, so no chance to snag it now. This creature is pretty much always on the hunt, a constant forager with an endless appetite. You'd think it'd have insane power to back up all that energy, but alas, Deocrine's strength isn't its strong suit. It's great for support, maybe even a little scouting, but if you're expecting it to carry a battle, you might want to think again. Even with its limitations, Diakreen, like a lot of B-tier creatures, has this special place in your lineup if you can work with its quirks. It's like that scrappy friend who can't always keep up but is always game for the adventure. So give these B-tier creatures some love. They may not be unstoppable, but they add character to the game. After all, isn't that what Creatures of Sonaria is all about? The creatures in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Jedeben, Tornir, Megalodistrix, Fabrash, Adarkane, Eres, Poseidon, Esho, Aholai, Amalis, Bucon, Sanctuary, Chrysos, Citrolantis, Dragonixoria, Fakalu, Oxidizin, Gara Warden, Ghibli, Gorgonicius, Gloricus, Halaqual, Hikorshi, Kamador, Keruku, Ketherol, Canalriki, Coniferon, Koipis, Kariser, Marinus, Galarin, Murlk, Ninder, Norskog, Athalith, Nymphasuchus, Lenarabu, Oraron, Reviaton, Sarkias, Hisalidium, Slayernok, Sochuri, Taralistris, Equenix, Ovufu, Gurava, Theralakis, Corsarlet, Bazeli, Tinuk, Tohukos, Firemia, Pufwump, Tarakotu, Felizio, Triquilo, Trutholbieva, Chisudo, Tundrik, Undoli, Valkyrse, Valmora, Veludora, Yamatu, Ura, Zodok, Zoku, Senikara, Dunkleistus, Frigiboa, Zwevalisk, Haxaline, Anutil, Hebatoa, Starknull, Aweko, Takamorath, Fantaris, Cloviloper, Militura, Hyboctoruk, Flemarir, Skuldarouge, Fernelixi, Variatrice, Silvasquall, Parugama, Vorpalis, Ushrumesh, Firakai, and Nuxulamen. Alright, let's dive into some A-tier creatures from Creatures of Sonaria. This tier is filled with fan favorites, the perfect mix for newcomers and veteran players alike. A lot of these creatures have some pretty unique abilities that make them stand out in the game, so if you're just starting, they're definitely worth your attention. And hey, who doesn't want to play with something that looks cool and performs well, right? Starting off with Knalriki. These little guys are terrestrial omnivores, available in the Session Gacha. Knalrikis are like that friend who's small, quick, and always ready for a snack. They're known for gathering around carcasses to get a good meal, so you can find them where the action's at. They have a lean, almost alien look, with long limbs, spine-covered bodies, and a scorpion-like tail with a barb. And fun fact, they don't even have eyes. They rely on some pretty impressive instincts to find their food and stay out of trouble. Knalrikis are a quirky, nimble choice if you like your creatures a bit on the odd side. Then we've got Therolacus, which is one of the more chill, semi-aquatic herbivores in the game. Imagine a hippo mixed with a rhino. And there you have it. These guys are available through the herbivores and semi-aquatic gachas, making them a perfect pick if you want something that's a bit of a water lover. They travel in groups of around 10 to 12, led by a strong alpha male, so if you spot one, you're likely seeing a whole crew. Therolacus can move both on land and in water, but don't worry if you get on their bad side. They're not the type to chase you beyond their territory. Now, for the more adventurous, Jedebene and Tornir are solid A-tier creatures to consider. Jedebene has this sleek, elegant vibe going, while Tornir has a bit more of a rugged look. They each bring their own unique playstyles, making them interesting picks if you like to mix up your gameplay. Jedebene can glide smoothly through areas, while Tornir is a bit more tanky, perfect for getting into the thick of things without too much worry. You'll find that each has its quirks, so pick the one that best fits your style. And let's talk about Megalodistrix. This one's a bit of a powerhouse. Not only does it have a visually striking design, but it also has some serious durability and packs a punch in close combat. It's a great choice for players who like to go head-to-head with other creatures without breaking a sweat. Plus, Megalodistrix's design just screams "don't mess with me," which is always fun in PvP battles. Next, there's Citrolantis and Fakalu, the dynamic duo. These two have some standout abilities and look absolutely wild. Citrolantis has a beautiful aquatic aesthetic that makes it a great option for underwater exploration. Meanwhile, Fakalu is perfect for stealthier players. It has camouflage abilities that let it blend in with its environment, giving you that extra edge when trying to sneak past other players or catch them off guard. Then we have Oxidizin and Gara Warden. Both of these are on the bulkier side, which makes them awesome for players who want creatures with a bit more survivability. Oxidizin is a bit like having a mobile fortress, and Gara Warden's protective instincts make it a fantastic defender. They're not just great at taking hits, they're intimidating, so you'll notice other players think twice before approaching you. Finally, Oraron and Reviaton deserve a special shout-out. These creatures are just beautiful. Like, these are the ones you show off. Oraron's got these majestic feathers and a calm presence, while Reviaton has this eerie, almost mythical vibe that makes it unforgettable. They're great for exploring new areas and impressing other players in the game, because who doesn't want a creature that's both strong and stunning? The creatures in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Korathos, Firanili, Simidsteak, Imini, Aeolinus, Hykiunx, Arcalium, Ardor Warden, Moamoya, Nectoxin, Polymonstrum, Kurugosk, Muravil, Arsonos, Axothan, Boscuro, Buff Eulapi, Sturby, Chame, Yggdragstyx, Zeorex, Cryptoth, Grivila, Floralis, Salron, Umbraxi, Exterrari, Amiorn, Upper Legion, Diamargula, Jotunhel, Kohiki, Laharpis, Luxus, Lariku, Lure, Magnarothus, Militrua, Hysoteri, Avothius, Sanaata, Turgeon, Ura, Novus Warden, Cavaratus, Varskella, Venetrox, Verdant Warden, Verklixen, Nakamaska, Vetamortem, Yosog, Slyorn, Meorlark, Araku, Zethines, Verza, Wewix, Hyboria, Dalkara, Kavangau, Alekuda, Eridia, Empeterium, Fliply, and Lactarium. Alright, so let's dive into some of the S-tier creatures in Creatures of Sonaria and break down why they're at the top of the food chain. We're talking about some absolute legends here. Creatures with insane powers, skills, and defenses. Seriously, whether you're a longtime player or just getting started, these creatures are the ones you'll want to know about if you want to stand a chance out there. Let's get into it. First up, Buff Eulapi. Now, this is one beast of a herbivore, and it's not just any herbivore, it's a tank of pure muscle. Originally available in the Easter events of 2021 and 2022, it's become a rare find, making it extra special. Buff Eulapi is way larger and brawnier than the regular Eulopii. Think of it as the gym-loving cousin. This guy has a broad torso and abs to match, standing tall on two legs like it's ready to wrestle anything that crosses its path. Its sheer size and strength make it a pretty intimidating presence for an herbivore. Now, if we're talking protectors of the forest, we have to talk about Polymonstrum. This creature is also a herbivore, but it's no softie. Available in the Herbivore Gacha, Polymonstrum is a giant with these stunning, towering horns that reach the highest branches. It's like the friendly neighborhood watch of Sonaria's forests. This creature has this incredible way of using its horns to make a racket, scaring off anything lurking in the trees that might be up to no good. So, not only does it keep its herd safe, but it keeps its entire habitat in check too. It's like the peacekeeper of the forest, and honestly, we're here for it. Alright, let's switch gears with Sanaata, who's about as far from a gentle herbivore as you can get. This creature is a carnivore through and through, and it's available only in the rotation store. Sanaata is slow, heavy, and built like a rock with limbs that look like pickaxes. Yep, you heard that right. Its tail even has a pickaxe outgrowth that it uses both for combat and mining. You'll usually find Sanaata chilling near minerals or caves, like it's keeping an eye on all the precious resources. And those pickaxes? They're not just for show. Sanaata knows how to defend itself in style. Now, another fan favorite in the S-tier lineup has to be Zeorex. This guy is the perfect blend of agility and power, known for its quick, deadly moves that make it a nightmare to face in battle. With a sleek and intimidating design, Zeorex is one of those creatures you do not want to mess with. Its versatility in both offense and defense makes it a top choice for any serious player aiming to dominate in Creatures of Sonaria. It's like that silent, deadly threat that creeps up on you just when you think you're safe. Then we have Yggdragstyx, which might sound like it came straight out of a fantasy novel, and honestly, it wouldn't be out of place there. This creature is majestic yet menacing, with an ethereal look that makes it stand out. It has roots, branches, and a nature-like appearance that symbolizes life, but don't let its beauty fool you. Yggdragstyx packs a punch and can hold its ground against some of the toughest foes in Sonaria. It's like if Mother Nature had a bodyguard, graceful yet ready to fight. Moving on to Luxes, one of the more mysterious creatures of this S-tier lineup. Known for its dazzling yet haunting look, Luxes is all about that stealthy, tactical playstyle. It thrives in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, which makes it a bit terrifying if it's on the opposing side. Luxes is a master of surprise attacks and can take down opponents before they even realize what hit them. It's kind of like the ninja of the Sonaria universe, making it a real standout. We can't leave out Meorlark though. This creature is as mythical as it sounds, and it's known for its resilience. Meorlark can handle some serious hits and still come out swinging. It's the kind of creature you want by your side when things get tough, with stamina and defense that just won't quit. If you're the type to jump into chaotic battles, Meorlark is a creature you'll appreciate having in your arsenal. And finally, for those who love sheer raw power, there's Avothius. This creature is a beast, plain and simple. It brings brute force to any fight and can easily overwhelm even other S-tier creatures. Avothius is a true powerhouse with no gimmicks, just raw, straightforward might. It's the kind of creature that doesn't need fancy tactics to get the job done, and sometimes that's all you need to be an absolute champion in Sonaria. So, there you have it. Some of the most powerful creatures in Creatures of Sonaria, each with their unique strengths and styles. Whether you're looking for a protector, a silent assassin, or a tank, this S-tier lineup has a little something for everyone. Make sure you get to know these creatures well, because they're the ones that will help you make it to the top. The creatures in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Boreal Warden, Celeritas, Gobbly, Cratoparatina, Gnolrock, Grammos, Gyrudos, Hellion Warden, Hygos, Kendall, Lumacosaurudon, Lusadark, Sarhingaro, Istajuatl, Sigmatox, Cirudon, Nolomoth, Yebaidi, Brekwauk, Pterolithux, Felixstrox, Pliris, and Exotide. Alright, let's dive deep into the S+ tier creatures in Creatures of Sonaria. We're talking about the absolute legends here, the ones that are nearly unstoppable. Not only are these creatures extremely powerful, but they also don't demand too much when it comes to equipment or time to train. It's like having an easy road to greatness. Starting with the Boreal Warden, one of the coolest and rarest creatures you'll find in Sonaria. The Boreal Warden is a terrestrial herbivore that's surprisingly peaceful for its size. Picture this massive creature just hanging around, casually defending nearby herbivores. They're rare to come by, and if you got one during the winter events of 2020 and 2022, consider yourself lucky. These guys are practically protectors of the Sonarian forests, always there to lend a hand, or a hoof, I guess, to anyone in need. Now, let's talk about Grammos. Grammos might just be one of the friendliest giants you'll encounter. It's a herbivore you can find through the Herbivore Gacha, and let me tell you, this creature is all about community. Grammos isn't just content grazing on its own, it's like the friendly neighbor always looking out for the little guys. It's not uncommon to see Grammos letting smaller creatures hang out under its massive frame. With its small wings and mossy appearance, Grammos gives off some serious Guardian of the Forest vibes, like a gargoyle come to life. Then we have Lumacosaurudon, which, okay, say that name 5 times fast. This herbivore might look like a sauropod dinosaur, but it's got its own Sonarian twist with a beetle-like crest at the end of its nose and a bunch of spines lining its neck. If you're after something unique, you can grab Lumacosaurudon from the Herbivore Gacha as well. Its vibrant colors, turquoise, brown, and yellow, make it easy to spot from a distance, so it's got a bit of flair to go with all that strength. Gnolrock and Gyrudos are also major players in this tier. These creatures are on a whole different level, combining strength with unique abilities that set them apart from the rest. Whether they're tanking hits or delivering some serious damage, Gnolrock and Gyrudos bring their own flavor of power to the game. If you've got either of these, you know just how dominating they can be on the field. And then there's Hellion Warden and Kendall. Now, if you want creatures that look as intimidating as they are strong, these two take the prize. Hellion Warden is all about that fiery, unstoppable presence. It's like staring down a walking volcano. Kendall, on the other hand, blends speed and agility with raw power. Together, they make for a terrifying pair in any encounter. They're basically the creatures you never want to find yourself up against unless you're well prepared. Moving on to Sigmatox and Cirudon, these two are the big hitters you'll want on your team if you're all about offensive gameplay. They're designed to do serious damage, and with their sleek designs, they just look like pure power. If you're the type to charge straight into battle, creatures like Sigmatox and Cirudon are what you need. They're the ultimate intimidators, and they'll make any opponent think twice before picking a fight. And last but not least, Exotide and Yebaidi. These two creatures are as mysterious as they are powerful. Exotide brings this mystical vibe, almost like it's got some ancient power pulsing through it. Yebaidi is another rare gem, and while it might look peaceful, don't be fooled. It's got the strength to hold its own against almost anything. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.